Dirty Harry here from the afternoon show, welcoming a very special guest in the studio, Ebony Davis from America's Next Top Model. Let's give her a round of applause. I know I'm the only one here with Ebony, but I'm gonna applaud for you. Welcome to KUBE 93.
Thank you.
How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So let's talk about this major TV show. You're local. You're from Seattle. Seattle's about to be on the map again, as it always has been. But you know what? It's just so cool and refreshing to have a local celebrity on a major national TV show like yourself. So what are your, let everybody know a little bit about you and how far we've come across so far in the show and moving forward.
My name is Ebony Davis. I'm from Seattle, Washington. I was born here, lived here for a while, lived in Portland for a while, and moved back. I'm an Ingram High School graduate.
I went to Roosevelt. We always beat you. I remember back in the day, we would always have a better basketball team, but we won't go there.
All right. Well, we're getting better now. But I now go to the University of Washington. I'm a freshman. I just completed my first quarter there, and now I'm taking spring quarter. I took autumn quarter off to do taping of the show, which is in October and November.
Now, did that really slow you down, though? I mean, taking time off school, obviously you're going to have to make up for it down the line. Did that kind of interfere with, the schooling part, or did you feel like and realize that, you know what? You're a star on a major TV show. The TV show is kind of taking a bigger priority now than my own personal education.
I don't think modeling has a bigger priority to me as far as education. I think education is really important too, but this was a huge opportunity for me. It's like maximum exposure. Not a lot of models get the opportunity to be featured on a major television network, so this was huge regardless. And school will, I can make up those credits, I can take extra classes, and I can always go back to school if necessary. But, when opportunity presents itself,
absolutely.
I have to take it.
Right, absolutely. And how did you get discovered? Like, let's just kind of give everybody a kind of a brief synopsis on, obviously, you grew up here, you're from Seattle, you moved, you came back, but how was Ebony Davis discovered for a major TV show like this?
Well, I started modeling again. I was modeling when I was very young, but I started modeling again about a year ago. I went to a walk-in at my agency, Seattle Models Guild, which is just a local agency, and I've been working in the Seattle market. And then I went to an audition for America's Next Top Model at a local mall. My mom kind of prompted me to go. I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to.
So you were getting the mom pressure.
Yeah, I was getting the mom pressure, definitely.
And you know what? Moms usually are right. Like, I get the mom pressure. My mom lives 3,000 miles away, but she's always pushing me to do things. And you know what? I always somewhat disagree. I love my mom. I always disagree. But you know what? I always tell myself, you know what? My mom was right. And shout out to my mom, by the way. Dirty Harry's mom. We'll be checking out this interview on KUBE93.com. We've got Ebony Davis here in the studio with me. Dirty Harry here from KUBE. Tonight, CW11, 9 o'clock p.m. Tonight's the 5th episode. Ebony's been explaining to us how she got discovered. And now I want to kind of move to the next part of this interview and ask you specifically, if you are, we don't know yet, obviously, but if you are crowned the winner of this show, where do you see your platform moving from here? Do you see yourself getting bigger in terms of the runway, print, TV, movie? Where do you see Ebony Davis moving forward?
Well, I can't say whether I won the show or not, but
no, I understand. I understand that. We're saying hypothetically, if you do,
hypothetically,
if you do win the show, where do we see Ebony Davis as a career path moving forward?
As a career path, I see myself relocating, eventually after school, or if I happen to transfer to New York or LA, so I can just be immersed in a bigger market, in a market that's going to be more beneficial for my career and development. I'm also planning a trip to South Africa this summer for modeling.
What's going on in South Africa?
There's a couple agencies down there that are interested in my look and would like me to come down there and work for a couple months. So,
what have they told you what it would be? I mean, what would it be? Would it be
just a lot of print work and developing my book and shooting with some of the local photographers down there?
So this could be just an open door for a huge international portfolio for you.
Right. This could definitely be an open door for me. And the reason I'm going there is to make my book more competitive, my portfolio, to go work in New York eventually. So
you really feel like you are New York bound then?
Yes.
For let's say the next 3 to 5 years, Ebony Davis will be in New York.
That within the next 3 to 5 months.
3 to 5 months.
Well, eventually within the next year, probably.
And now, do you have that mentality? Because a lot of people from the West Coast have that mentality, and I agree, but I also disagree. They think, well, L.A., New York, Miami is the hub of it. They have to go there. And I think you've proven the point to a lot of people that, you know what, you can be from Seattle, you can be discovered, and you could be on a major show like this. And I guess my argument to that would be is you could still reside here, still have a home here, and still, handle your day-to-day operations by traveling. So you don't have to kind of do what everyone else does. You don't have to follow the herd of cow per se, and pack all the bags, go to New York, like New York is the it place to be necessarily, right?
Definitely. I have to give a big shout out to my city. I mean, I've gotten a lot of support living here, and it's definitely been a great way to develop as a model, develop my portfolio and just get started. And my agency here puts a lot of effort and interest in developing me. So, definitely big shout out to them.
And what kind of feedback have you gotten? I mean, obviously when you walk around the UW campus and when you go out and about, I mean, do you get people coming up to you saying things, or are people respectful and they leave you alone?
I don't feel like a celebrity yet because I don't have that happening to me.
But you are on the show. I mean, that is if you're on a major TV show like America's Next Top Model on the CW, I mean, you are a celebrity.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't feel like it. I don't have people running up to me, immediate recognition, just a lot of recognition from my friends and people who already know who I am.
That's great.
Yeah.
So let me pitch this out at you real quick. We have Summer Jam coming up, and hypothetically, once again, we don't know if Ebony Davis is going to be crowned the winner on this amazing TV show. By the way, shout out to Dean at CW. We love it. He's my guy. I love him. Always does big favors for us here at the radio station. My specific question now is, let's say you are crowned. Vice versa, even if you're not crowned, we have this major Summer Jam show coming up. And I'm just going to get a little plug in there. Tomorrow, 8 a.m., we unleash some of the details, so make sure that gets in there. Can we possibly have Ebony Davis up on stage with us, maybe in front of 25,000 people, to show the world that, you know what, it's about Ebony Davis, it's about a local, beautiful girl originating from Seattle, being on this TV show, and now, doing major, major things, going to South Africa, going to New York, doing these big things. How do you feel about that?
Absolutely. That's definitely something I'd be interested in doing.
You'd be interested in going on stage at Summer Jam 2012.
Of course.
All right, well, that's good.
On the air in front of millions of people.
Who would you say now? There's a lot of models out there. Heidi Klum, Giselle, Cindy Crawford. Who are some models that you have a lot of respect for that you would, really like the chance and opportunity to work with sometime?
I definitely have a lot of respect for the original supermodels, Tyra and Naomi Campbell and Beverly Johnson, who we actually get to meet on the show on tonight's episode, which has already been revealed. But, supermodels I have a lot of respect for today, like the up-and-coming supermodels, Jordan Dunn, Chanel Iman, a lot of minority models that have kind of flipped this stereotype around in the fashion community that there's not a lot of ethnic models. I think that's really cool, and they're opening doors for me, and I think that's a really big thing.
How are they specifically opening doors for you? Like, can you give me an example?
I mean, they're getting some of the most recognition in the world as far as supermodels go, and I think following in their footsteps is something I'd really like to do.
So what specifically would you say is one dream, if you had to narrow it down to one specific, element of for you being Ebony Davis, what would be your dream? If somebody asked you, like, we can go out 3 to 5 months or we can go out 3 to 5 years, what's the top dream? Is the top dream to have your own TV show and have models that you're developing underneath you, or is the dream to be walking down the runway of the biggest shows? I mean, what's your specific dream?
Just to book major campaigns, or just every time I walk downtown Seattle, I walk past H&M and there's a huge sign. And if I just imagine myself on this huge H&M sign in downtown Seattle. And I'm like, yeah.
That's your dream. Your dream is to be on a major billboard in downtown Seattle.
Yes.
Or other major cities.
Or in every city in America.
What are you studying? What are you studying right now at UW?
Right now, I'm just doing general requirement classes. I'm not exactly sure what I want to major in, but I'm definitely interested in the drama program there. I mean, they have a great program, and acting and modeling kind of go hand in hand. So if I could kind of do a crossover thing, I think that would be really beneficial for my career.
And what are some other, things that hobby-wise, what are some other fun things that you like to do aside from modeling, aside from school? What's in a day in the life of Ebony Davis?
Every time I'm not modeling or at school, I just like to sleep, honestly. It's kind of boring, but between the busyness of my school schedule and modeling schedule, it's like I just like to rest and have me time in the in-between. So that's usually what I'm doing.
Now let's talk about the dollars and cents here. So, if we were moving forward or even moving back, walk me through kind of, the pay, the pay opportunities involved if you were to get booked for, let's say, a day for whatever it means. What would be the max and what would be the low in terms of how much a model like yourself can make?
It really just depends on the client and how many hours you're working. The agency negotiates different hourly wages.
Is there some good money to be made though?
But there's definitely some good money to be made in modeling.
Absolutely. So you have a Jaguar downstairs?
No.
Okay. So you're not quite at that level yet.
No.
Absolutely. Okay. When did you actually officially start modeling?
I officially started modeling in February 2011, and that's when I signed with my agency here.
So you're fairly new.
Yeah, I'm still fairly new. Yeah.
And was it like was it just one day? I know we talked about your mom's influence earlier and family giving you a lot of critique and opinions, but would you categorize your family being super involved, or would you say it was something that you thought that that you had to look for and you took it upon yourself and now you're at where you're at?
Well, I've always had the support of my family as far as other things, but modeling, I would definitely say, is something that I just went about, doing on my own. I saved the money to buy, or to pay the photographer for my first test shoot for pictures to go in my portfolio.
And roughly, what does that cost?
$400.
Okay.
That's a lot for a high schooler who works at like Hollister making minimum wage.
Right.
That's where I used to work, before I started modeling. So that was like hours and hours of hard work.
Maybe Hollister needs to get a hold of you now and be the face of Hollister.
Give me a call.
Why not?
Why not?
Absolutely. From rags to riches, right?
Right. Definitely. But I feel like it's definitely something I've created on my own, which makes me, very proud. And I do recognize my family, shout out to them. But I'm really proud to say that this is something I've kind of done on my own.
What's your favorite fashion line? Like, what do you love fashion-wise? Are you more into H&M? Are you more into Nordstrom's, BCBG, BB? What do you like?
I like a little bit of everything. I like Nordstrom. I like H&M. I'm not up to like the Pradas and Gucci's yet as far as, what I can afford to buy, but I definitely do flip through fashion magazines and I'm constantly, seeing all of these different fashion lines and I'm in love with, everything that goes on.
Did you know that Seattle was just recently rated top 4 in the country for fashion?
I did not know that.
Seattle
That's
is
awesome.
officially rated top 4 in all the markets for fashion.
Wow.
And I guess that was my what I want to ask you is, do you feel as you being your age and your brand as Ebony Davis, do you feel like Seattle is expanding and gone to a higher level for fashion? Like when you go shopping, are you satisfied with what you're seeing in the stores, or do you feel like we're still a couple steps back compared to a boutique in, let's say the Bay or LA or Miami or New York or wherever?
I definitely still think that there's more, style that could come to Seattle. But when I go out and go shopping, I feel like, I find some cool stuff that I really like. So, I don't feel like Seattle's that far behind, if it is behind at all.
I agree. I feel like when my family lives in New York and I go out to visit them, and I feel like when I go shopping in New York, and I don't know your opinion on this, but I've always been the type that I'll buy stuff there and I know that I'll be the only one here wearing it.
Exactly.
Compared to, for example, going to a local retailer here, buying something and I know I might see, 6 other people in the course of 2 months of the club wearing the same thing. And that doesn't get me excited.
Yeah.
I think fashion is what you make of it. I think fashion is an art. I think it's about putting a look together. And I think a lot of people don't know how to put that look together. And I think it really is an art form.
Yeah, it's about how you wear something. You might see, like you were saying, 6 other people wearing it, but if you're wearing it the best, then what matters,
Absolutely. Tonight, let's remember, CW11, 9 o'clock p.m., you will see my girl Ebony Davis on the major TV show, America's Next Top Model. Anything that you want to tell your fans here before we wrap it up? I know you got a lot of fans out there. You got any shout-outs?
Yeah, I want to give a shout-out to my mom and dad, to my Huskies at the University of Washington.
Huskies, man. I saw that game last night.
BAYB, Cloud Nice, S'more Gang, everything. Just everybody that I rock with here in Seattle.
And you know what? I really, honestly, truly wish you the best. I hope that all your dreams come true. I hope Ebony Davis, wins this TV show hands down. And I hope to have you on stage with us in some sort of capacity if we can at Summer Jam 2012.
Definitely.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Ebony, this is Harrison Wood.
Hi.
That was easy, right?
Yeah, well, kind of. Yeah.